California left unexplored. And
All right, here we
All right,
go.
Yo.
All
Nice.
right, good luck,
I
everyone.
actually. Okay, yeah.
All right, let's see if I can steer the same way in this game.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm holding Z.
Oh,
Oh, they did
oh.
not.
Oh, this is so weird.
All right, it's different now. You accelerate with A and steer only with the analog stick, which is like most racers.
Yeah.
Yeah, why am I not in first?
So I don't know why the first one
Oh, you really
had
can't
you
just-
accelerate with Z,
Yeah,
but
you literally just. Yeah, okay.
now it's
Oh
different.
man, this double
This is
tap
much
is
better than
huge.
Also, you don't need first place. You just need top 3.
You need top
Oh,
three.
good,
Yeah,
good.
That definitely saved my
Holy
ass the
fuck,
last time I
hard
raced.
like.
I'm in 7th.
Oh
I'm
no.
in 6th.
I am. Yep, 7th is the place for
so if
me.
you double tap A, you get a boost.
Well, this game's graphics
Double tap
seem to
into
be
the
better.
back of a car,
They
you can
improved it a bit over the
Yes,
first
you did.
one.
Nice.
It can actually, like, the road has like a better texture on it.
It's very
There's
good.
actually mountains. But we'll have to wait until we get to a course with a bunch of trees and see if we can run over trees. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can kind that out at least.
barely adjust it.
Let me turn down audio a tiny bit. It might be a bit loud.
Revan
Everything's
Bar.
better down to it.
Well, this is how
Red
you
and
get from
bottle.
Hawaii back to California. Wait, I think you can.
Oh, I just.
How did that just happen? What?
How are these
What?
cars
Everyone
faster, dude?
Everyone crashed.
I think you can draft.
Drift?
I have doubts.
Because I
No.
was behind for a while and I started to
Is
get
this
a lot
rubber band?
faster.
Dude, I'm 4th place still.
I spun out, now I'm in 4th.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Just
I
literally
spun
never
out
mess
seven.
up. Holy
Seven.
shit!
Yeah.
I finished in second.
Yeah, I could see.
I got
Yeah, I
fourth.
really
This
sucked.
game is, I played this
Wow.
so much.
Yeah, I got
I finished
5th.
in 6th.
I got
Oh
fourth.
no.
Holy shit, dude.
Holy cow.
I just got
Sardine
caught.
extreme.
I got second.
Got
No,
third.
I
Like,
got
dude, what?
First.
I got fucking.
Easy first.
seconds before the
Hey,
race.
how are you doing?
I
Oh,
got
man. They shaved like 30
I was in
seconds off of
first.
This is
the
your-
menu
and they
and
got
off of
Mario
waiting
Karted.
for inputs.
Yeah.
Have to get first in this game?
Oh wow, Japan is medium.
Top.
Let's try it again.
Ready? Set. Go.
Wow, it's so bright on the screen on OBS because I use a brightness adjusted like color correction. I don't know, is that too washed out or does that look okay? Oh, jeez. A little bit washed out. Maybe I'll turn it off. This game's not as dark as the other ones. I think I'll turn it off after this race. Hey, Captain. What's that an emote of? It's adorable. Looks fine. Oh, Captain got... How long have these been a thing? How have I not noticed? That's adorable, Captain. When did the new emotes come in? 2 minutes ago. Let's see these others here. Is that Egaluk Jams? Egaluk B. All these are amazing. Very cute. That's right. I guess you can anybody can just upload. And they're instantly available now. They changed that, right? Doesn't have to go through the long approval process anymore. Which kind of concerns me because eventually SG4E blind could get reported and then that would be That would be rip. Because then they'll just look at it and they'll be like, oh, wow, this was uploaded. This was uploaded at when the new process came out, and this was never approved. We'll just get rid of it. I'm unlikely I'll get grandfathered in as somehow snuck through approval back in the day. It is super nice, though. Because sometimes it could take, if it was during a really busy time, like when they first expanded the number of emotes to affiliates, it could take forever. Oh god. No, no, no. I pressed. Okay. We're safe now. Oh, even better. That was the one I was looking for. I was looking for zoom out, not zoom in. So zoom in is C up. And for whatever reason, zoom out is C right. Are you excited for Lufia 2 tonight, Captain? I'm excited to get back to the blind RPG races. No. Need to unlock slots so they aren't stuck behind the high tiers. Sleep schedule's been bad. Been watching YouTube in bed last couple nights. Massive cloud, Dan. Well, I mean, if your sleep schedule's bad, doesn't that mean Lufia 2 just fits right in? Because it's like 2:30 or 3:30 for you is the start time. So if it's like a 20-hour race, that means somehow in Australia now. I didn't think it would let me advance. See, if it's a 20-hour race, that means you'll finish at 11 a.m., which is a perfect time for bad sleep schedules. I've been sleeping in either. Oh. Oh, so you're saying you go to bed late, but you still get up at the same early time, so you're just not getting... Oh, okay, I see now. Oh, I see. That's not good. That is not a good combination. Clown Dan. This game looks wild. Yeah, so far it's been pretty good. I played the first one. We're actually doing 2 games today. This is the second one. First one took like 40 minutes. And this is the sequel. They improved the graphics noticeably. You also don't have to get first. I don't know what you have to get, but it let me advance. I think I was like 4th or 5th last time. Third or better to advance. Siggy lick. But yeah, if you just get to redo it, and none of them are that bad. You get tired at a real time, people sleep during the race, you can pull the power, forfeit 16 hours in. That is a power move. A Gluck sip. So what's is sip the tier 1 then? Or how what is the tier breakdown for the emos then? Look, there's kangaroos. Is this what Australia looks like, Captain? Is this a good rendition of Australia? Very faithful. Bouncing kangaroos all over the road. Once again, 64 minute where you play 5 to 6 games back to back. They were talking about that in the call, maybe doing like a sports day, and it's just like win one game with every sports game, all of the dumb Madden games. In some places, sure.
Ready, set, go!
Kangaroos on the road happen all the time. And that was some BS right there. There's no way to restart either, it seems like. There's that end cruise. I'm not brave enough to select that option. Because that sounds like it's taking me all the way out, not a restart. That looked like a shortcut there. Get wrecked. Imagine if this was a thing in real life. A race on top of the Great Wall of China.
Checkpoint!
With some cars going in the opposite direction for whatever reason. Oh, now we're in the rural roads. Don't you dare. Took 4th place right at the end there. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 for now. Bid emote for now. Oh, I see. Yeah, the Jams one is exceptionally cute. Waifu Kek. Can you believe that? Out of nowhere, right at the end, steals 4th place with no way for me to catch up. I got my first Exalt to drop today. It happened in the Delirium in a Tier 11. Delirium OP. I have an Exalt, but I got it from a trade. Or should I say a scam, Waifu Kek.
Checkpoint!
I wish the camera could be a little bit higher up, but I think this is as good as it gets. So I'm going 146 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. Oh, how is that guy still ahead of me? I just ganked him. Well, rip. That was a shortcut, but all I did was lose time. Lose positions.
Checkpoint!
Checkpoint. Well, everybody is crunched up here, so if I really can't off-road, can I? But I need to do what that guy did to me who yoinked 3rd place for me last time. Need to do that. Did Yimo say what happened to you yesterday? No. What happened yesterday? Had to, had to change fossil stack to another fossil stack. Took my 5 bad fossils, turned them into a stack. The most expensive? Is that the hollowed? What's the most expensive one? That's awesome. I haven't been using those crafts. I thought they were scams. Like the trade a div card for another random div card. Like, no thanks. Spend 200 life force on this crap.
Checkpoint.
What happened here? We're all stuck and we're all just like somehow I get screwed over all the way into 8th for whatever happened in front of me. Fractured. What? Fractured is like the mirror of fossils, isn't it? Isn't that extremely expensive? How much is each one of those worth? $2.5 to 3x per fossil. So how many was in your stack? That's insane. GG's on that, Captain. You're rich now. 5. This man made 15x. Wow. But GG's, that's like double the amount of X I've ever made in a single transaction. The most amount of X I've made in a single transaction, I think, was like 7. It was when I got a doctor's card from Lab. Wow, that's very good. Sig flip, yeah. Do you have any plans on how to use it, or? I haven't sold them yet.
Set, go.
So I do wonder why, like, it creates a mirrored copy, right? Of an item. So why do the fractured fossils not sell for about the same price as a mirror? Don't they have the exact same functionality, except you just need one of the cheap resonators for the fossils?
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Like every bit of gear, it's hard to work out what I need to get. Yeah. Some really good high-end melee stuff is like stupid expensive. Man, I can't get comfortable playing this game for some reason. Once again, I get screwed over because people in front of me can't drive. Hard luck, Slim Lude.
Ready, set, go. Checkpoint.
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 Fossil creates a new item and then copies the new item.
Ready, set, go.
Do you use it on an item? It does the fossil craft and then you get 2 duplicate things at the end. So you can't actually use it like a mirror. You just... I guess you just hope to get... Just like, what's the biggest resonator? 4? 4 fossil resonator? You just get the biggest resonator, you try and put all the ideal fossils. But you have to use up a fossil spot for that too, right? I don't know, now I'm asking myself, why is it that expensive? Although I haven't done much fossil crafting myself. And when I have, I've used just like a 2 slot resonator, and it doesn't seem that great. So it just seems really risky to use a fractured on an item that could turn out and be trash. Like, sure, maybe it's good, but you just hope that... I mean, if the fractured is so expensive, you've got to net an item that's better than 3x out of your fossil craft, and you could just get absolute crap out of your fossil craft, right? Here's the description I just read. You could use it on a 6-link body armor, and at worst you have 2 6-links. You should have 2 insane 6-links. Oh. Because it doesn't mess with the sockets, I see. Interesting, okay. I guess I see that now. Russia.
Ready, set, go. Checkpoint.
Yeah, plus fossils, like if you put on a body armor, like isn't like the pristine, although they nerfed pristine, didn't they? But one of the fossil crafts, at least at some point, was increased maximum life. You could get like between 5 and 10. Pretty good on a chest piece, because isn't that like the same thing a belly of the beast gives you? But you could potentially have better mods on it, like some resists. It is mirrored though, the second one. So the second one can't be crafted on after that. You've got to get it right with the fossil craft. You need just like one more like if you've got like dual res open suffix, the original you can craft the 3rd res on, but you can't on the mirrored one. So there is still a bit of luck involved, but yeah, if it hits. Working on any big items? I guess I'm saving it. I don't know why I'm so poor this PoE. I feel like I've played a lot. Maybe I bought maybe it's just because I bought the flasks early. I feel like I have less money this league than I used to, although it's changing now. But I got the Exalt to drop for the first time this league. I guess I'm farming up for the Impulsa. Because I've been reluctant to buy anything, because I'd rather just try crafting it. So like I could use with a +1 to Fire Gem Shield. That would be nice. Or like I think I'm happy with my belt. I just switched my gloves into a cast while damage taken Immortal Call setup, which has been really nice. I wish I'd done that sooner. The gloves are kind of average. The boots are alright. I guess what I really need is, number 1, a better wand. And then after that, probably a better shield. And then after that, Impulsa. I think that's what I'm going for. As far as my must-have gear for the build. Impulsa 6-link is like 5x minimum. So that's gonna take a bit. Seems best for people who already have currency rather than people like us. Yeah. I really want the fossil craft. The reforge a rare with fire modifiers. Fire modifiers are more common. For whatever reason, the fire modifier on purple is... I just never get it. I always get the fizz. But that'd be really useful for me. But then you still have to roll. I think that's a good... You still have to roll some decent stuff. But I think that's a really good craft for me for wand and shield. The current wand I have is pretty bad. And you also need the wand to roll open suffix.
Ready, set, go.
Because I need to craft the triggers a socketed spell on it. So ideally for a wand I want adds fire damage to spells, adds fire damage, increased fire damage. And I think one's a prefix, one's a suffix. But well, adds fire damage to spells is like the most important one. But I'd like to get tier 2 or tier 1 with that. Yeah, even the non-6 links, like it's funny because I went on there and there's like some corrupted ones that are selling for like 2x, like 2 sockets, like. No one's buying that, but they are listed for that. Even the non-6 links are very expensive. I've only got like 160 fusings and I've used hardly any. I've used like 10 or less fusings. So buying one and linking it doesn't seem like a good option for me either. The Tabula is fine for now. Like I think the Impulse is just kind of like taking the build to the next level. And it's not even high up on the priority list. Like top 1 priority is I need a better wand. And then after that, like the shield I have is nice because it's a lot of life. Yeah, fortunately you don't need to be in first, but that guy came out of nowhere once again. Impulses used to be even stronger too. They got nerfed. I've bought one before. I bought it for my Shock Nova Lightning Tendrils build. You don't need Impulso. But I think it's the best chess piece for the build.
Checkpoint.
Trying to link a Cloak of Defiance earlier. Rib fusings. How many did you use? By the way, have you run into that fossil craft? Not fossil craft, harvest craft that says like
Checkpoint.
apply. It essentially says something like apply 10 fusings to this item, and the outcome with the highest links will be preserved. It's just like an auto apply 10 fusings. Like what good does 10 fusings do? But at least it's a there is a harvest craft that well gives you a few link attempts. Might be worth throwing it in. I see it. It's not one of the common ones. It's one of the more rare ones. But I've seen it from time to time. 200-ish. Only time I ever 6-linked something by myself was instead of just buying it linked. I forget what I linked at the time too, but I saved up the 1,500 fusings and just bought it with the guaranteed 6-link craft. That was before I played FM though. Nowadays I just fusing it myself. Because FM has changed my mentality about random outcomes. Because it is better value on average to 6-link yourself instead of using the craft. Because the 6-link is supposed to take 1,000 fusings on average. So to pay 1,500 means you're paying more than the expected amount by 50%. I didn't care at the time. I was like, I just want this thing 6-linked, and I don't want to go through the frustration of running out of fusings. I think it might have been a Pledge of Hands. It might have been when I tried to do Firestorm build. Don't quite remember. Apparently there's a 6-link Harvest Craft. But good luck. Good luck finding that one. The socket number craft got 3 sockets with the highest outcome forehead. That's pretty funny. I don't think I've ever used 10 jewelers on something in my life and only gotten 3 sockets.
Ready, set, go!
Jewelers are super easy to get too. I've got maybe like 1,200 jewelers, which you can turn into fusings. It's the only non-scam The only non-scam currency NPC sale in the game is the Jeweler's Diffusing sale. I think it's 4 jewelers for 1 fusing, and it's the couple in Act 4 NPC. I mean, it's not like that's the greatest deal, but I think you won't find much better on with human trades. So another way to look at it is whenever you find a 6 socket, which you find plenty of in endgame, whenever you find a 6 socket, that's almost 2 fusings with that trade. So if I have 1200 divided by 4, that means I have 300 fusings on top of the about 160 I have. About 460 fusings if I wanted to. Like 1, 2 a map. Yeah, they're pretty common. I always pick them up. They're really good deal. Definitely one of the must-do vendor recipes is hand in those 6 sockets. I've actually stopped doing a lot of the vendor recipes that I used to do. Not sure why. Maybe that's why I'm so poor now, forehead. Nah, that's not it though. I used to do the chrome recipe. I used to do the glass blowers bauble recipe. I still do the gem cutters recipe, but I only pick up gems that actually have like at least 10 quality on them. As little as like four leagues ago, as in the 4 leagues that I played, I used to do the chaos recipe, which honestly, chaos recipe sucks from a quality of life standpoint, but it's decent cash. If you can bring yourself to do the chaos recipe, especially as a new player. I know everybody says don't waste your time playing, doing the chaos recipe, but I don't know, man. I think it's a good value for a new player who doesn't know how to price stuff. Just guaranteed money. And I swear they buffed the drop rates of jewelry, because when I used to do the chaos recipe a long time ago, you'd always wait forever for like an amulet, a rare amulet, and maybe some rings. But now rare amulets drop. They feel like they drop all the time. I don't know. I feel like that got buffed. Traders went 5-1. So more scam than the NPC scam? Damn. Yep. I mean, imagine listing yourself for that. That's just straight up profit. Like you just go to the NPC and cash in people's jewelers orbs and just profit jewelers orbs left and right. Because people don't know about it. I do chrome until maps. I do gem cutters, then shove them into a tab. I did chaos recipe the first couple of days. This league doesn't seem worth to do after playing 2-3 days. Yeah, I pick up some chromes when I'm leveling as well, because chromes can be super useful. Like, currency is so valuable, less so in the early levels, less so this league, because the harvest craft is just so good to improve your gear. Like, this is the first time I ever leveled up with my resistances capped all the way. Or basically all the way. It felt pretty good. I was like, wow, I don't die in the axe anymore because if you just have your capped resistances. But Harvest Craft helps a lot with that. Without the Harvest Craft, currency just feels especially more valuable in the early game because like just changing a color so you get an extra gem in or adding a couple extra sockets with a jeweler's orb improves the build so much when you otherwise don't really have access to that kind of currency. I feel it's okay to do at the start, get a little currency. This league is different. I think the chaos recipe is actually a really good way to make money. But it's just really clunky, and I think I don't know. People recommend against it because they're like, you'll just get the amount of time you spend micromanaging your chaos recipe. You would have made that amount of money in just raw chaos drops by spending that time doing maps instead, which I guess I get. But another thing about the chaos recipe is you probably want to do it un-ID'd, because doing the ID'd one for one chaos feels bad. You could be having twice as much. But then people say, oh, but if you just ID your rings, maybe you'll have one that's worth multiple chaos. I'm like, sure, but if you're a new player who doesn't know how much anything costs in Path of Exile, what difference does it make if you ID a ring and you have no idea how to price it? So I did the chaos recipe for several leagues when I started to play. It was only recently where I stopped doing it. I did do it a couple times this league because I got the prophecy that's like, do the chaos recipe, and I didn't want to seal it. I actually used to buy those when I used to regularly do chaos recipes in leagues, because people would sell them because people can't be bothered to do the chaos recipe, so they seal and sell them. And that's just, I'd buy them for maybe an alk in bulk. Some people would sell them for 2 alks. 2 alks wouldn't feel as good, but you're still making an alk. Try to buy as many as I could, and just all my chaos recipes just gave me a little more. Def Un-ID'd had a stash tab set up for the rares to fall into, so you just see what you need, yeah. Yeah, same. I'd have like my chaos recipe stash tab. You just put a bunch of rares in there, some boots. It's like 3 of everything. And generally the jewelry was the last thing I needed. So whenever I got jewelry, I was like, oh, okay, I can turn this into a chaos recipe. And then you just replenish your tab every now and then. It does get a little bit annoying because once you start getting the later maps, it turns into a regal recipe instead of a chaos recipe. I used to balance that out because as long as you have just one lower eye level item, it cancels the regal recipe into a chaos recipe. And I'd usually be at least still in chaos recipe eye level for delve. So I'd end up just getting, like at the end of every delve, a bunch of stuff drops, right? You're guaranteed to get 1 rare in the chaos recipe, at least, at the end of the delve segment. So I just stock up my stash tab for chaos recipe with lower eye level stuff from delve. Oh, shit. And then no matter what I picked up in my maps, I'd still at least have 1 item left over in the stash tab that I could downgrade to a chaos recipe from a regal.
Ready? Set.
I also have currency. I have like stuff in my stash that I could turn into currency if I wanted to. That kind of stuff is always like it's can be difficult sometimes to assess your net worth in Path of Exile because sure you've got like splinters, you've got fragments, stuff that you're probably not going to use, but it's not really worth trading unless you need to hit a certain money threshold to buy something important. But I mean, I have like 10 or 20 splinters of Chayula, and each one of those is like a C, right? I've got Legion stuff, but probably saving that for a guild day where I know Yimo likes to have the souped up map device. I've got scarabs. I don't even know if those sell for anything. I never use my scarabs. I should get, like, the rusted scarabs aren't even really worth saving for late tier red maps. Might as well just pop them. It's not that big a deal. A lot of stuff I realize I get every league that I never end up using. I should. Like, I get scarabs and like, well, I should save this until late game. Like, N tier red maps. And by the time I get to N tier red maps, already a lot of other stuff that I'm trying to do, so I don't end up putting those in the map device. Cause I'm like, ooh, this looks like a rippy map. Maybe I'll save my scarab for something else. I never end up using them anyway. Can be good to trade stuff in bulk. I don't know how I feel about the Conquerors expansion yet. I like that it lets you upgrade a bunch of maps instead of before where you just shaped a single map. I like how you can sort of take the maps with you, but the mechanic kind of seems like repetitive. Like every time, like you fight the exact same boss multiple times with just like more HP and more damage. Like I assume as his eye level goes up, his monster level. And I just really haven't cared. Is the thing. So I'm just kind of mapping and I haven't even tried to like spawn the Conqueror. Every time the Conqueror spawns, it's just I mean, I guess by accident's not the right word, but it hasn't been something it's just sort of happened. Like it's not like, ooh, I need to do a bunch of maps to get this Conqueror out. I'm just doing my maps and trying to like get my maps up, try and like sustain. Like as you do when you're mapping in PoE, you got to keep doing like your sustain for maps shifts gradually upward in tier. So I'm trying to like shift my tiers up. Like, you know, as you progress, like at first you're having trouble sustaining like the tier 4s and 5s, and then gradually you start sustaining the low tier yellow maps, and then eventually you sustain the high tier level yellow maps into the red maps, and on and on. So I'm just working on my tier sustain right now, and naturally the Conquerors just sort of get unlocked in the process. But whenever it happens, it's just like they pop up and it says talk to the Kirak guy. I'm like, okay, I talked to the Kirak guy, and it's like time to do this dumb boss fight again. Scarabs are 4+ C each. Which is your favorite Conqueror? Smiley face. That isn't exactly different than anything else in the game. Everything that's true. That is true, Captain. You make a good point. You know what would be cool? I wish there was like a like they took out the they took out like the Shaper Orb. But imagine if you had like the Shaper Orb 2.0 and you call it, I don't know, you call it like the Atlas Wormhole or whatever. and it lets you choose 2 maps on the atlas and swap them. Because a lot of the times I have like a region, and I'm like, ooh, this region has a lot of maps that I like running. I'm excited to socket a watchstone in this region and get these higher levels so I can be doing higher tiers of these maps. And then you look at the region and it's like, oh, there's cage map, or there's like that 1 or 2 maps you're like, man, these 1 or 2 maps are not fun. It makes me less excited about this region. So I think what would be really cool is if you could just get rid of that 1 or 2 maps in every region and just put them somewhere else where you have no interest in the atlas. Oh, there is race course? Do you not like race course, Captain? Race course is the best. Every conqueror is a free map where you lose XP. I suck at the snake guy. Yo, we're going to Florida. Miami Beach.
Ready, set, go.
Race course is one of my favorites, but I have to ask Yimo how, because I think Yimo does a bunch of race courses. I've got to ask him how he decides which side of race course to go, because I always guess the wrong side. I'm always backtracking. Because everyone's an oval, and I always go the wrong side of the oval. Right when I think I figured it out, I haven't. The Boston race course is pretty rippy, though. Not a fan of him, and I'm not even sure why. It's just all of a sudden my health is nearly gone. I think I finally figured out the mechanic for the snake guy. I died a lot to the snake guy. When the snakes pop up around the triangle, right, you go to the center of the triangle. Because the center of the triangle is like some kind of poison. But I think when the snakes pop up, the poison goes away temporarily. I don't know, he just does a bunch of chaos damage, which I can't be bothered with getting my resists up against. I have like minus 18 chaos res. Hey, Tapioca. There's a... Which one reflects? I did not realize there was a reflect one. Snake guy sucks. I usually have a poison flask. I've been thinking about getting a chaos res for the fight too. You know, that's not a bad idea. Just get an amethyst flask or buy like a cheap. Buying a cheap at series flask would be really good. Well, short of that, an amethyst flask that removes poison would be the best defensive option, and then if you wanted to go a little more offensive, then definitely the at series flask. That's a really good idea. The bigger one reflects. You mean at higher, when he gets to like later in the atlas with higher tier maps? Is it just Fizz reflect? Because I don't think I've experienced elemental reflect on any of them. Although maybe you know what, there might be one that I haven't done. I think there's like one area of the atlas that's still like in white maps. So I might have not. There might be one conqueror that I've yet to meet. Because I'm too lazy to prioritize them. Man, Miami sucks. As an ability to reflect, it might just be Fizz.
Checkpoint.
This is how SG4E drives in Florida. Tapioca knows. He was in SG4E truck. It's Florida skills they were well. There are 4. Okay, I must have done all of them then, even though, because there's the woman, there's Bannon. Is this it? Are we done? No, this is. Somebody told me there's one after the credits. I've done Bannon, which is the only one I know the name of, because it's super simple. I've done the woman. I've done the snake guy, and I've done Drox. I know Drox's name too, because he screwed me over several times with his dudes. Oh wow, we're going on the space shuttle.
Commands countdown. 3, 2, 1, 0.
After the unskippable credits. Yeah, so if this was Cruise the World, then I guess this would be done now. But since we're doing Cruise the World plus the moon, you gotta wait for yet another.
We're cruising now.
Oh. Oh, are you saying Sirius? Or Cirrus, Captain, is the one that has a reflect phase? I don't know if I even want to do that fight. All I've heard is bad things about that fight. Oh, the race course boss has reflect. Oh. Okay. The race course boss. Okay. That's silly. Well, I take a lot of damage. Take a lot of damage from what I thought was the horse in the race course boss. But it didn't feel like reflect damage. I'll have to pay attention next time. Eurocom team. Mr. Awakawa. Danny. An extra stage. Why does Earth move so much whenever I turn? Also, why is gravity the same on the moon as it is on Earth?
Checkpoint. Here we go. Checkpoint.
Checkpoint. Rip. Hard luck, Tepero.
Ready? Set. Go. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
This is where Super Mario Odyssey got their inspiration for their final level too. From Cruis'n World. You have to listen to a special Miyamoto interview for that knowledge though. Japanese only, that's why. That's why only the weebs know the truth. I don't know how I avoided that guy. This guy on my butt is very aggressive. Okay. Hey, Spock, thanks for the raid. I appreciate that. Are we done now? Oh, I think we're done.